This is game number 1 of a best of 3 from the ESL Pro Series. King Sejong Station is going to be the first map of the evening. And spawning down in the lower right hand position, representing ATN, it's Lambo. And his opponent, up to the top left, the blue Protoss player representing Alien Invasion, we have Patience. So, this is going to be a tense game. It's game 1 of a best of 3. It's in the first round of group stage. It is Group A, the first one we've seen so far. And that leads us to have a lot of fun because these two have played in the cup stages a couple of times. Patience was coming out better there. Patience, of course, is the Korean Patience from Alien Invasion. And although this is the German Cup, the reason he's able to take part is because he is actually living within Germany at the moment. So it is based on where you're physically located, not your nationality, which is actually pretty cool. A couple of the other Korean players are trying to get into this as well. I know a few others, such as MC, are located within Germany now in the Gem team house, so they should be appearing in the next season with any luck. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on openings from these two, it looks like we're going to be getting a pull first from Lambo. Playing things nice and safe, nice and steady for now. Not wanting to go for anything risky like a hatch first. Of course, King Sejong Station is a map where you can get cannon rushed relatively easily, so just playing that safely. Patience, on the other hand, he doesn't want to be safe. He's just like, Nexus first. I am confident in my ability to do awesome. And so he's going to get that economic edge early on in this game. That's good news for him. He's going to certainly be sitting here being quite confident when he comes through and just scouts at his opponents, going for a relatively safe opening. Following from this for Patience, just adding in the gates, the gas timing is going to be the big thing we need to keep an eye out for, because that's going to really indicate what kind of build or what kind of follow-up is going to come from this. Nothing too insane you can do as a follow-up to a Nexus first. Obviously, your tech is delayed because of it. The gateway obviously later, the cybercore later. Lambo seeing this now, this is actually a really important scout. Getting to see this Nexus coming down first, so important for Lambo. Means that he knows, okay, my opponent is playing this very greedy. I need to either try and apply some pressure, which he could well do. He's got 2 lings coming out, but considering he droned, I doubt he's going for that approach. Or on the flip side, he's got to take a third base, and he's got to take it ASAP. Ideally, around the kind of 4-minute mark is brilliant. It's what some of the top pro Zerg players are hitting at the moment. So, let's keep an eye on what this is doing. The cybercore now coming down. 2 gases here, 4 Patience. A minor little slip up here. He's got 4 probes in gas, but realizes pretty pronto and switches one of them back into the mineral mining. All good stuff. Third base from Lambo is now going to get started up just after the 4-minute mark. That was about 4:04, so right in the sort of timing that he wants to be getting that. That early scout with the Overlord, really important for him, making him feel just so much more confident to get that down good and quick. Should also be seeing a good amount of dronage. There really isn't much requirement for Lambo to get down speed at this stage unless he was going to be getting aggressive. So, should just be adding in good number of drones. Queen's up to 3 at least. May go for 4 just to be a little bit safer and to get that creep spread going. But yeah, he should just be in full macro mode for the time being. 1 ling, going for a few shots of damage here. Not able to do too much. No kills yet on this game at all. Currently, First Blood has not been taken. The Zealot and the Mothership Core are going to be trying to do that. Still, Overlord waiting here for Lambo, ready to come in later on if need be in order to scout things down. But Lambo going to be going for a Stargate right at the front. And this is an interesting spot to put it, because unless a ling comes up, it's very unlikely it'll get scouted. Lambo more likely to use this Overlord to try and come through into the main base and check this sort of area for any tech structures. Maybe around the back here. May not want to look at the front immediately. It's also out of range of this Overlord shelf, so there's no way for the Overlord to see it without exposing itself to damage. With the Mothership Core down here though, with a sentry coming out, this Overlord is most likely going to get forced back this direction. The Mothership Core will come in, grant the high ground vision, and the sentry can then just push it away out of range of that Stargate. So really then it just leaves Patience having to deflect any ground-based scouting, of which Lambo does have quite a few lings on the field, so he may look to try and go in. He's going to have to contend with an Oracle. Just coming through now. Still the sentry hasn't come out. It's going to be really interesting to see when that sentry comes. Oh no, oh, okay, the sentry's staying up in the main. This is an interesting choice. It is going to get scouted the Stargate, however, because we do have a lot of lings coming across the map. They're going to be gunning straight towards this entrance. Oracle about to pop out. The Overlord has now seen the Stargate as well, so this is an early scout. Immediately Lambo adds in 3 additional Spore Crawlers, or 3 Spore Crawlers in total, 1 at each base, and that should make him pretty resilient to any harassment coming from the Oracle, because the Queen and the Spore Caller alone should be able to stop things up fairly comfortably. Taking a look, Forge obviously coming down off the back of this, as well as some Void Wave production being produced from Patience. He's just going for a very normal style of play, wanting to get a bit of harassment down where possible. We'll finally draw first blood, racking up a couple of drone kills there. Patience boldly going to try and take a third next to the Zerglings. The Zerglings won't be that happy about it. Should still be able to go up though. It won't be out damaged by these Lings alone. A probe will die unfortunately though. The Mothership Core busy trying to work away at a couple more. The Lings back on out, but they do get a full scout on the timing of that third. Meanwhile, Lambo, he's going up into lair tech. He's also losing a couple of overlords here and there, which will cause him to have a little supply block. Nothing too crazy. He does already have more overlords on their way through, so not crazy. Nothing that should really be too concerning to him. Just going to be sitting there now, trying to make a decision. Right, do I end this game out? Do I just go full on for this third, prevent Patience from really teching up much further? Or do I just say, alright, you're going for a greedy third. I'm going to take my fourth really fast, maybe even go up to a fifth base ultra quickly. But we'll wait and see if that is the preferred route. But I suspect with the Roach, Warren, and Hydrogen coming through, we're going to get a lot of unit production pretty damn quick, because if we look at the gases, he is up at those 6 gases. He's going to be able to produce a good number of units very, very quick. The drone count for Lambo is also up at 68, so the pressure is really going to be there for Lambo to try and end out this game, try and get a big win, because if he doesn't take an additional base, with this extra production, with the 6 further gates being produced by Patience, it's going to be very, very tough to be able to do that. A couple of shots coming through now onto that Phoenix as it backs away to safety. It is only a hallucinated one, so it's just trying to get a little bit of information about what's going on, trying to get a little peek. Okay, so how many drones are produced? What are they doing? Where are they doing it? Patience, meanwhile, has discovered and attempted a 4th base, so Lambo is going to be expanding this up. Going to be able to keep it thanks to these 3 queens moving across. Lambo in total has got 6 queens out on the field, so 3 bonus ones just to aid in the defense. The Hydralisks and Lings now coming through in the masses. The Roaches are probably going to be neglected slightly, because there hasn't really been much of a show of any kind of splash damage, much in the way of High Templar or the Colossus, so not much really needed buffer damage from those Lings and from those Hydras. They can decimate all of the air units, they can decimate this ground force as well very, very quickly and simply. So at least until any Colossus or any High Templar are seen, I'd imagine we'll get majority just of Hydras and Lings. Oracle coming in now using Revelation. Going to get a good little look at this army of Lambo. Going to be trying to see what he's doing, where he's doing it, and this is important. It shows the army movement. It shows, okay, what's he doing? Where's he getting to? How can I try and stop this? Gets a good peek at all the bases, knows how many drones are getting transferred across, any additional production that may get close to the rest of that army. That added bit of vision, just very, very useful. There is only the 1 Oracle. It's racked up 5 kills as well, so hasn't done a terrible job. Only 2 of those have been workers, however, so probably a few more work kills would have been ideal. Patience, though, not wanting to wait for this army to get too sizable. Moving up towards the 4th base, has to be cautious. Backing down the ramp, force fields would be incredibly effective there if Lambo decided to push down, so that's why we see him not. He wants to ideally force Patience up onto either of these ramps where he can form a good concave, ready to engage onto the Protoss forces. Of course, Patience, he's going to be aware of that. He's just biding his time, waiting nicely. May look to try and take down that rock tower. It is always going to be a bit of a danger. That army is right in position. The rock tower is going to force this Protoss force up into that 4th base. The concave, very good at the moment for Lambo, but the force field zoning out some of these units from being able to actually get in on the action. Backing away they go. Of course, the rock tower is still not knocked over, and that could do a lot of damage if Lambo decides to go for it. Not attempting it, though. Patience backing away, getting some more reinforcements through. Force fields still coming in the plenty. And this means that for Lambo, his army was taken out very, very effectively. There's a slight army lead right now for Patience, and he's got a lot of Stalkers there. They've got Blink, they've got +2, so an upgrade lead is available for Lambo. Patience, though, waiting to move forward, waiting to see if he can find another good position to engage. A force field will minimize the area that the Hydralisks can engage, and that means the 4th base is dead and gone. By taking down that 4th, it means the Patience has secured himself an equal base footing, and that's very important for a Protoss player. If you're on equal bases with a Zerg, you're almost always going to be in a very strong position. Rock Tower goes down, actually kills a couple of Hydralisks there, as well as trapping a good portion of this army completely out of position. A proxy pylon is going to die, unfortunately. Or is it not? Wow, okay, 13 HP. Lambo deciding to allow that to live for the moment. A couple of overlords, they're also getting sniped off. Lambo is up in the army supply at the moment by 10, but remember, this composition, this army force from Patience is very, very strong. He's also still got +2 compared to just a +1 at the moment for Lambo. So Patience does have that upgrade lead, is in a relatively good position for the most part, and looks like we're getting ready to go. Lambo having a couple of issues there, so glad to see that it's all fixed up. One lone Voidway, ready, preparing to go in towards that natural base, looking to try and get some damage down if it can. Otherwise, Patience adding in his High Templar, or Templar Archives, ready to make some High Templar, potentially looking for some Archons, potentially also looking for a couple of Storms against those Hydralisks, getting some splash damage there. I also don't know if he's seen the Vipers yet, but the fact that Vipers are on the field, the High Templar's feedbacks can be very important in order to prevent those from really being too effective. Waiting now to see where Patience does decide to go. He's still just playing very cautious. He's got a pylon over by the 4th base, so may attempt to expand. He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank, so able to do that quite comfortably. Nice little use of a DT here. Going to get a little bit of damage down, and this is pretty free damage, especially with 2 more heading in towards the 3rd base. Of course, there is a Spore Crawler there, but only a Queen defending. And with the Overseers being brought across, if the Spore Crawler is focused quickly, or the Queen is focused quickly, this could get a nice bit of damage down. Looks like the Spore is going to be the prioritization. The Queen not targeting very effectively. Down goes that Spore. Another Overseer is going to get morphing. Meanwhile, in the main base, the Voidway getting some harassment, but we've got a big engagement outside the 5th of Patience. Lambo being forced out of position, though, by those force fields. Still, the 2 Dark Templar are going to be looking to chip away. The Voidway getting damage done in the main. Lambo ready to move forward, ready to move in. Does Patience have enough to defend? The force fields are good. Blinding Cloud comes down from that Viper, preventing some of these Stalkers from being able to get in on the action. Meanwhile, the 3rd base completely abandoned. Just one lone Roach going to be trying to defend this. A Hydra popping out will help things. But still, a nice amount of damage done there. 10 workers killed by Patience. That's 8 more than he had done previously. 4th base of Patience, though, that's looking to be in some danger. Patience doesn't really want to go for this trade too hard. He does have Storm. Going to start throwing those down now. There's some good Storms on this left group of units. The Immortal count up at 4. Getting a good amount of damage down as well. The Roach is not going to last too long against that. Lambo's army melting to the might of Protoss. The Storm's really doing a lot of work there. GG, well played is called. And Patience is going to take game number 1 of this best of 3.